Right now at 6, Judge Chris Taylor brings her Wisconsin Supreme Court campaign to La Crosse, her message to voters.
And maple tapping season wrapping up in Wisconsin. How snow and cold temperatures helped this year's harvest.
Watching WKDT La Crosse, this is News 8 Now at 6.
Good evening and thank you for joining us for News 8 Now at 6. I'm Emily Brown.
And I'm Ken Kozarowski. In Wisconsin, some mixed news for maple farmers. News 8 Now's Grace Monk explains.
Maple tapping season in Wisconsin is coming to an end, and local maple farmers in Vernon County say the season was successful. Maple trees require moisture from snowfall and freezing temps at night in order to produce sap.
The sap flows when we have nights below freezing and days above freezing. For the sap, you need to have water. And so as the snow is melting, it's providing moisture for the tree roots to absorb.
In recent years, Wisconsin has seen warmer weather and little snow, but farmers say that wasn't the case this year.
We had more rain coming into the season, and we had a couple sizable snow events. And so we started tapping in early February, and throughout the whole month of March, we collected sap and boiled down a little over 800 gallons of organic maple syrup.
But despite the boost in production, there's still concerns about the longevity of maple tapping in southwestern Wisconsin.
We've been noticing is the maple season is beginning earlier and it's also a little bit shorter. And that affects how fast the maple trees progress and how quickly the season goes.
Warmer winters could decrease the amount of sugar in maple trees, cutting the region out of Wisconsin's sugar maple range altogether. Reporting in Cashton, Grace Monk, News 8 Now.
Sentencing day for a La Crosse man guilty of child sexual exploitation. Donovan Cadigan will spend 18 years behind bars. He also received an additional 12 years of supervision. Police found more than 3,500 photos of suspected child pornography in Cadigan's possession. This is his second related conviction. He was sentenced to 8 years in prison in 2001.
Police formally charging an Eau Claire teacher accused of sexually assaulting 2 students. Nadia Horn allegedly admitting to sexual relations with 2 male North High School students, where she worked as a special education and world studies teacher. The school suspending Horn without pay. She's out on a $15,000 cash bond and faces up to 40 years in prison if convicted.
A Black River Falls man faces charges for allegedly shooting and killing his neighbor's dog. 59-year-old Lawrence Fry was arrested after a woman reported her dog missing and found a blood trail. Fry initially denied the shooting, but later confessed to Jackson County Police, saying he shot the dog and dumped it miles away. He's charged with animal mistreatment and illegal firearm possession. He's out on a signature bond with conditions of no contact with the victim.
Wisconsin Supreme Court candidate Judge Chris Taylor making a stop in La Crosse. It's part of her Protecting Our Rights and Freedoms tour. She's traveling across the state ahead of the election on April 7th. Taylor is taking on Judge Maria Lazar, and they're vying for Justice Rebecca Bradley's seat, who didn't seek re-election.
I have had a 30-year legal career committed to protecting people's rights and freedoms, and as a judge, making sure that all Wisconsinites have equal justice under the law.
The Supreme Court candidate also making a stop in Eau Claire tonight.
Well, DeBin's store is closing its doors tomorrow. The store is over at Valley View Mall. It gives second chances to formerly incarcerated individuals. At its peak, 90% of DeBin's staff had criminal backgrounds.
We've gone through about 65, 70 employees too. So my mission to have employment for people with disadvantaged backgrounds has truly been a goal of mine, and it was accomplished. So I feel good about that.
The store has been operating in the mall for nearly 2 years.
The push is on to end the state's mandatory emission testing. Lawmakers, State Representative Bob Donovan and Congressman Tom Tiffany are behind it. Bill backers say the 40-year-old program is outdated and lacks clear evidence of its impact. Tiffany, a candidate for governor, wants to talk to officials in Illinois and Indiana to confront cross-state emissions.
Well, it was certainly a wonderful day to get outside.
Oh my God, beautiful.
Enjoy those conditions, but they're going to be short-lived, Greg.
Yeah, it's to an end. You're not going to see 70s here at least until we get to next week, maybe beyond that, because we have a lot of activity this week and a lot more winter-like type conditions too. But for today, got close to a record at La Crosse, 4 shy up at Eau Claire. They were 74. The record was 78 all in all. Once again, very warm temperatures. We've still got warm conditions out there, fairly dry conditions too. A lot of high cloud cover out there, but overall still dry with some light winds too. You notice the wind turning around to the north of Eau Claire. But further to the south, light winds. We're going to see a few clouds here and there, but all in all, it's going to be still a quiet evening for Eau Claire. Temperatures still getting down to 60 degrees, so very warm still. In La Crosse, more clouds. That storm threat, I think it's really well south of La Crosse this evening. Getting back down to 66 as we go throughout. Right now there's a cloud cover out there, but it's still fairly dry across most of our area, even to far southern Wisconsin. There is a storm threat, but for the most part this is just south of the area, so maybe Prairie du Chien might get clipped, but otherwise we're just going to see cloud cover throughout the night with another storm chance coming tomorrow morning we're going to track later on. We also got that wintry mess, and we're talking ice and snow for Wednesday night and Thursday. Heavy rainfall Thursday, and I didn't even mention we have another storm that could be Friday through the weekend too. So quite a lot of activity going on, and we'll try to explain all this a bit later.
All right. Thank you, Greg. And with those changes afoot, a reminder you can always track weather on your block by downloading our First Warn weather app. The city's yard waste and brush site is now open.
You need a $25 seasonal permit sticker to use it. You can get it from City Hall. The site accepts yard, food, and brush waste.
Because I don't like them laying on my boulevard, especially at the end of the year. You know, sometimes they don't get them all picked up, and then they sit there all winter, and before they can come and clean them up, it kind of kills your grass a little bit. So I haul them as I get them.
Operating hours are Saturday, Sunday 10 a.m. to 4, Monday through Tuesday 10 a.m. to 6.
As for Eau Claire, the Green Waste facility opens April 1st on Jeffers Road. You need a $50 season pass to use it. The facility takes brush, grass clippings, and leaves. Still to come, millions of student loan borrowers face higher monthly payments. The repayment plan changes after a federal court ruling.
And NASA's next moon mission could be 2 days away. All the details coming up.
Tomorrow on News 8 Now this morning, the future of flying cars may be closer than you think. We'll have that and more in our consumer news. And Art says it's an alert day with snow on the way. Those details at 5 a.m.
Come on, boys. These dogs aren't going to eat themselves. Yeah, mustard? I'm a mustard gal myself.
She's always had it. Pure ambition. An unbridled self-confidence that most people only dream of. You see it driving her, empowering her. And in time, you see it fueling her future. Perhaps even helping her blaze a new trail. All she needs now is a way to make it happen. We are the Universities of Wisconsin. 13 universities. Unlimited opportunity.
If you're turning 65 or about to go on Medicare, it's okay to feel overwhelmed. These are important decisions and it can feel heavy. With all the plan letters and options, many people worry about making the wrong choice or missing something important. You don't have to face that alone. We'll help you find the plan that fits your health needs, your budget, and your life. We're conveniently located in the Social Security building in downtown La Crosse, and best of all, our services are completely free. Call Strive today.
What home improvement delivers the highest return on investment? A new garage door. And the perfect door is a genuine overhead door, made to last right here in the USA for over 100 years. Overhead Door has been the leader in exceptional design and quality materials installed by trained, experienced professionals. Find your perfect door. Visit our showroom or go online to choose from an endless array of styles, colors, and accents. From our family to yours. Overhead Door Company of the Seven Rivers region.
Going on or coming off?
On. 14 hours.
Ooh, thanks. Saving lives.
Cheers.
TSA workers are finally getting paychecks after missing 2 weeks of pay during the partial government shutdown. President Trump signed a memorandum Friday redirecting funds to pay security officers. Call-out numbers remain 5 times higher than normal, and more than 500 TSA officers have quit since that shutdown began. Congress failed to agree on Homeland Security funding before taking a 2-week break.
We want to fund Homeland Security with reforms to how ICE and Border Patrol are conducting policing.
They're blocking funding for ICE and CBP, so I think that creates frustration for our members.
The Trump administration has deployed ICE agents to help with the TSA shortage. Officials say they'll remain until airports, quote, feel like they're 100%.
More than 7 million student loan borrowers will need to seek a new plan to repay their debt after a federal court striking down the Biden-era SAVE plan. Starting July 1st, loan services will issue notices for borrowers to select a new plan. Most of those will have higher monthly payments.
The Artemis II moon rocket is on the launch pad in Florida, and the lunar flyby mission scheduled to blast off Wednesday will be the first human flight to the moon in more than 50 years.
Mark Strassman is following NASA's final preparations at the Kennedy Space Center.
NASA's biggest moon moment in more than a half-century could be 2 days away.
We are getting very, very close.
Sunday's update from NASA's Lori Glaze was unmistakably upbeat.
Our flight systems are ready. The ground systems are ready. Our launch and operations teams are ready.
NASA's hoping to lift off on Wednesday, the start of a 6-day launch window. Artemis II's crew will orbit the Earth twice on their first day, then head off for the moon. They won't land on it. They'll fly around its far side, pushing farther from Earth than humans ever have, about 253,000 miles, before looping back to Earth. This 9-day mission ends with a splashdown off the San Diego coast, a practice run for an eventual moon landing planned for 2028.
We do look at it as a test flight.
Reed Wiseman is the mission's commander.
We know we have to take risk. If we weren't willing to take risk, we'd never leave the planet.
But it's one thing to intellectually say someone has to be willing to take that risk. Another thing to say, I'm willing to take that risk. Why are you willing to take this risk?
Right now on planet Earth, there's 4 people in a position to go take this risk, and this is what we signed up for. And myself, Victor, Christina, and Jeremy are in a position to go do that. We have to seize that moment.
Something else everyone's keeping an eye on here, the weather. NASA's latest official forecast calls for 80% favorable conditions Wednesday night, with a chance of some clouds or showers here. Mark Strassman, CBS News at the Kennedy Space Center.
When Artemis II launches, the crew will wear specially designed orange spacesuits. The bright color makes the astronauts easier to spot in the ocean if they need to exit the capsule during launch or re-entry.
If something were to go wrong while you're in transit to the moon or in lunar orbit, they're designed to sustain you for that full duration of return. So they become your own personal-sized spacecraft that can last up to 6 days.
There will be a different suit for when astronauts in the Artemis IV mission walk on the surface of the moon. We will have more news ahead.
But first.
Yeah, we could see a few storms tonight or even tomorrow morning, but then the bigger news is the wintry mess that's going to be coming up Wednesday night and Thursday. So we'll break all that down coming up on your First Warn Weather Update after the break.
We see you out there coming up with original ideas, which is why you shop at Blaine's Farm and Fleet, because you know when inspiration rises, we'll have what you need to make it happen at prices that make it possible. Get a head start on spring savings with $10 off Scott's Turf Builder Triple Action. Rewards members save an extra $10. Plus, get a free $15 gift card when you spend $100 on Purina Pro Plan dog and cat food. Find the value you need to do things your way. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Being original.
Honey, for dinner, do you want mac or cheese?
For your birthday party, you can have fun or games.
Are you ready to rock or roll?
We want both.
Don't settle for or. M3 is your yes and insurance partner. World-class expertise, yes, and individual attention. Don't settle for anything less than yes and.
So I had pain in my feet for a good 20 years.
It felt like I was standing on marbles.
Something wasn't working with my feet. Was diagnosed with plantar fasciitis.
If your feet aren't comfortable, the rest of the body suffers.
So I went into the Good Feet store and bam. They wanted to make sure that they gave me the right arch support.
You put in the arch supports. To me, it was almost miraculous.
It really brought me back to being able to be me.
I can run, I can walk. This is not something that you could solve online.
Reclaim the good life with a free arch support fitting at the Good Feet store. Good feet, good life.
Chevy trucks are as capable and dependable as the Chevy people who drive them. You probably know one. Your sister. Your buddy. The ones who always show up. They all have that little extra something. And maybe you got it too.
It's Chevy Truck Month. Just announced.
Get $8,360 total value on this 2026 Chevy Silverado. Plus, Costco executive members can get a $12.50 members-only incentive.
If I buy a crispy chicken sandwich, that's one entry. Add a Coca-Cola, boom, 7.
1 + 1 is not 7.
Yeah, it is. Chicken math.
Buy any qualifying fried chicken or Coca-Cola with Quick Rewards, and you'll be automatically entered to win a 2026 Chevy Traverse Z71. When you buy both together, you'll get 5 bonus entries.
Chicken math. It's like girl math,
but better.
Quick Trip, we got you covered.
Yeah, with a boundary nearby, we do have that threat for severe weather this evening, but really that is south of the area, and I've kind of highlighted 6 to 10, but that would be likely Prairie du Chien and areas south of that might see that, but that's lower threat. The other risk is the 6 to 8 or 6 to 9 a.m. when we have a low pressure system that gets close enough to us to develop another round of showers and storms. That actually has a better threat, probably getting some maybe potential large hail. It'll be mainly south of I-90 going through the morning hours. That's another threat we're tracking for tomorrow morning. That's still a fairly low threat, but that would be the one that would be more concerned. Tonight's one really looks to be south of the area at the moment right now as we look at it. Now that's one concern. And then once we get past that, Tuesday into Wednesday night, we have another system coming, and this one's really a wintry mess, and that means a lot of snow. Ice, snow, or even heavy rainfall. And this lasts basically Wednesday night all the way through Thursday too, several rounds, and precipitation type and where it happens, those details need to be worked out, but really it's going to be could be an impactful event, especially for the Thursday morning commute. Obviously during the afternoon hours we do raise our temperatures up a little bit because it is April, so that does help the road condition a little bit, but that's the one keep tuned at is you got any travel plans Wednesday night and especially Thursday morning. We're going to see some wintry mess in the area. Right now there's a boundary, and right now we have a little bit of thunderstorm activity. You note nothing going on really. You get far into central Illinois, there's just a thunderstorm, severe thunderstorm warning well south into central Illinois, so it's really well south of this boundary. It's really dry out there with it, so we're not expecting to see much activity. The low pressure just off the screen there, that's the one that's going to track northeast towards the area as we get towards tomorrow morning. That one brings our chance for showers and storms in the morning hour too. That's what we're looking at right now. Zooming in, if you can see the relative humidity right now, and this gives you an indication, it's still fairly dry out there. You're seeing relative humidities in 30s, even 40s, so a lot of this, even if we do see a thunderstorm get close to the area, it's hard pressed to really produce much other than that. You can see cloud cover overall, not in the way of too much cloud cover, so that's why the threat is minimum. And really, if you look at futurecast overall through the night, we're going to decrease the cloud cover to areas further to the north, so they'll have a clearing area probably around midnight to about just a few hours after before cloud cover increases. Further south, that cloud cover persists, so very mild night for a lot of the areas. And then towards the morning, that's when we see showers and a few storms. Showers may actually impact early in the commute, but I think it's really about that 6 to 9 time frame where you'll have showers, maybe a storm for Eau Claire areas. Further to the south, it's going to be where we could see some storms. You can see even some red starting to show up there, indicating a little bit of a stronger storm come through during this time frame. So 6 to 9 and mainly south of I-90, you're going to see a round of storms. These could produce some larger hail. We'll keep an eye on it. Once again, it's morning hours, so it does help that. But overall, very mild conditions going on. Once we get past about noon, it's a fairly quiet day for most part, really with the activity waiting till we get to Wednesday night. Temperatures tonight, very mild. Even areas further south of that boundary, like Prairie du Chien, may not barely get below 60, and that may be the high tomorrow because they're not going to see much in the way of temperature change. For areas further north, they'll just barely get into the mid to upper 40s, but all in all, still a mild day for going this time of the year. It's just not going to be the 70s that we saw for today. As we go into Wednesday, that gets more interesting because these are the high temperatures, and really what we look at in the afternoon is what these temperatures are going to be doing as we get closer to when the precipitation arrives with this system. So it's going to be pretty much a rain snow mix. The ice threat really right now is pretty high as you go along and south of I-90. As you go further north, it gets more into probably a snow and ice. When I mean ice, it could be freezing rain, sleet, or even ice pellets too. So we're all going to have to keep an eye on this. Once again, Wednesday night, Thursday morning, most areas south of I-90 will probably change over to rain come Thursday. This also has a lot of precipitation with it as we go. This is pretty much for tonight all the way through about Saturday. A lot of this falls probably Wednesday night and Thursday. Some of this is contaminated with a little bit of snow and sleet, but overall some significant rainfall too that could be having some creeks and rivers rise once again as we get closer to the end of the work week. Otherwise, the next system we have in mind is Friday night through Sunday morning. That also involves more snow chances with that too. So Next weekend, definitely, as you look at the temperatures and conditions, a lot different than this past weekend. So,
yeah, an interesting start to April, it looks like.
April Fool's is Wednesday, so you know, April Fool's with the snow.
Yeah, a few variables in there.
Yeah.
Thanks, Greg. Coming up next in sports, the Eagles highlighting the importance of spring football practice, plus Badger men's hockey packing their bags for Vegas as they prepare for the Frozen Four. Jacob is next.
Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions, your choice for quality, affordable windows installed by our experienced team. Contact us or stop into our showroom today for your free estimate.
At Ashley Spring Savings Event 72-hour sale, score huge deals throughout the store and save up to 25% on your entire purchase. And no interest for 5 years when you shop in store. But hurry, these deals are only here April 2nd through the 4th, only at Ashley.
Password 1234.
Incorrect password.
Technology, am I right?
We need a new tech lead.
This is the job for sponsored jobs.
Sponsor your job on Indeed and get matched with quality candidates when you need them most. Visit Indeed.com/hire now.
Oakleaf Surgical Hospital has always been dedicated to delivering exceptional care close to home. Now we're expanding that commitment with River Prairie Surgery Center, opening in early 2026 in Altoona. This new outpatient campus extends Oakleaf's trusted surgical excellence into a modern, convenient setting designed for faster recovery, enhanced comfort, and more affordable care for our patients. Together, Oakleaf Surgical Hospital and River Prairie Surgery Center are strengthening access to high-quality care across Western Wisconsin today and for the future.
Your Touchstone Energy Cooperative belongs to you. We're owned by the members we serve. Together, we're part of something greater. A dedication to empowering our community and the people who call this place home. Because this power belongs to you. That's the cooperative advantage. Touchstone Energy Cooperatives, your source for power and information.
This adorable shelter pet wants to meet you and your family today. The News 8 Now Pet of the Week is brought to you by Wisconsin Veterinary Orthopedics.
At Ashley Spring Savings Event 72-hour sale, score huge deals throughout the store with select spring styles starting at just $4.99 and no interest for 5 years when you shop in store. But hurry, these deals are only here April 2nd through the 4th, only at Ashley.
Covering all the exciting action from your community, here's News 8 Now Sports with Jacob Lenzendorf.
Well, UW lacrosse football might have a new man in charge of the program, but not much else changes for the Eagles as they maintain their same expectation of being a team that will compete for championships year in and year out. With each year that comes to an end, though, key contributors are lost to graduation or the transfer portal, but UWL has some major pieces back for the 2026 season, including starting quarterback Kyle Haas and first-team all-conference wideout Jack Janke, and those two highlighting how important spring practices can be for getting everyone on the same page.
Well, for one, it'll be our second year in this offensive system, which is huge for everybody, so it's a good refresher of everything we've learned so far. And then also in this era of college football, how many new guys we have every spring that show up and have no idea what we're doing on offense, and get to really, learn that well before you need to really know it in the fall. So it's good on those two perspectives.
It doesn't matter if you've been in the program for 4 or 5 years, or if this is your first spring here, or if you're even a transfer. You're going to know what our culture is about and how we come out and how we practice, and everyone's expected to be on the same page and practice as hard as we can.
Season begins on September 5th at St. John's, and conference play gets underway October 10th as the Eagles will host Whitewater. And in case you missed it, the remarkable run for the Wisconsin men's hockey team continues this week as the Badgers will return to the Frozen Four for the first time in 16 years. In the second period on Saturday, Michigan State got on the board thanks to a puck that ricocheted off the stick of Ben Dexheimer, but it was Dexheimer, the senior defenseman, netting the game winner just 24 seconds into overtime.
Yeah, pretty special. We've had our ups and downs all year, and this group's just stuck with it. So taking one off the stick and then being in the box for the one wasn't the end of the world, and we just put our foot down and kept going to work, and eventually it paid off.
Wisconsin will need to get through number 2 in the country, North Dakota, on Thursday if they want to advance to the title game. Puck drop for the semifinal contest, 4 p.m. on ESPN2. Guys, can you guess the only other team in history to have won in men and women's in the same year.
Oh, no. Minnesota,
I guess
Greg
Minnesota
says.
would be a good guess.
Wisconsin.
Oh, Wisconsin.
Really?
Really?
2006 was the last time. It took for me a while to get it out. It's Monday, so give me a break. But 2006, yeah, last time. So they could do it again this year, 20 years later, if the women can get it, or the men can get it done, because the women already won it.
That'd be fantastic.
cool.
I mean, they're on a magical run. The guys.
Yeah.
I don't think many pundits had the Badgers making the Frozen Four.
They've been underdogs pretty much every game, so we'll see if they can keep the magic going.
All right. Thanks, Jacob.
All right, we'll have a final look at your forecast right after this.
Find happiness. Find something familiar and new. Find connection. Find culture. Find community. Find yourself at the La Crosse Symphony.
Get your tickets now for Hollywood Treasures on April 11th, sponsored by ISG at lacrossesymphony.org.
Want to save $1,000? Switch to Spectrum and we guarantee you will. Seriously, you can hold us to it. Switch to Spectrum fiber-powered internet and 2 mobile lines for just $30 a month each. That's $1,000 in real savings in your first year, guaranteed. Or we'll cover the difference. We call it the Spectrum Savings Guarantee. So call this number now, switch, and save $1,000 on internet and mobile. It's a guaranteed no-brainer.
Get an 11% rebate now at Menards. Protect your home with new gutters. Guide rainwater runoff away from your foundation and keep your basement dry. Take home white, brown, or black aluminum gutters today and get an 11% rebate. We're your destination for all concrete, cement, and mortar. Whether you're setting a post or pouring a new sidewalk, we carry a wide selection for your projects. Get an 11% rebate on concrete and mortar mixes.
Save big money at Menards.
All right, we have that thunderstorm threat maybe in the morning from about 6 to 9 a.m. Could be some strong ones along and south of I-90. Once that activity is over with, it's fairly quiet Tuesday. Enjoy it because Wednesday night and Thursday, a lot of wintry mess. We're talking snow, ice, some heavy rain all the way through Thursday. Could be some road impacts definitely for that. And another system Friday night through Sunday morning also has wintry and stuff with it too.
All right, so a very fun start to April.
Yeah,
That's what we're gonna
That was
start for.
fun. Thanks for joining us at 6.
We'll see you at 10.